Last time, Black Gate. Talking, and yet more talking. Namely to the NPCs in Britain. I went over to Batlin and asked where E&A, Elizabeth and Abraham, went. He kind of chided us for a little bit and said they were off to Vesper, which is our next location in this part. But in the last part, I decided to go ahead and talk to every single NPC in the capital of Britannia, Britain. Most notably, we found out that Patterson, the town mayor, is cheating on his wife Judith, who works at the music hall as a music teacher. He was cheating on her with Candace, the Royal Museum curator. He promised to make things right and be more honest in the future, and that he would tell his wife Judith about it, which is a good thing. Other things to note, we baked bread at the bakery with Willie, the master baker. He also offered us some gold if we made 5 loaves of bread for him, but I am a little lazy and I don't feel like doing that, so I just showcased what making bread is like in this wonderful game. We also attended the fellowship meeting. That's where Candace and Mayor Patterson met after hours. Rather cultish is the experience that we experienced in that part. If you ask me, these people need virtues, not the fellowship. But other than that, the part basically ended. And it's also a good time to mention that I will be streaming tomorrow, a day after this video, at 2 p.m. Central. I'm plugging it in here right now, just in case I forget to mention it in this video, and just in case you're not seeing my community posts. I sometimes post stuff on there as updates. Now onwards. Welcome back to another Let's Play of Ultima VII The Black Gate, guys. We are finally done here in Britain, which took well over an hour. And now, we gotta go to Vesper and try to find Elizabeth and Abraham. But first, I literally just remembered, before we do that, we gotta give the Silver Serpent Venom back to Morphin, I believe. It's no time for drinking now, Dupre. We got work to do. I also still have that bucket of water. Well, we're near the bakery shop, so I will put it back in this place near good old Willie. Here you go. I'll put it right here. All right. Let's go to Morphin before I forget. I literally just remembered. And here we are. I believe he takes it back, otherwise I just wasted my time. Greetings, Reuben, says Morphin. There we go. Return venom. I thank thee for ferreting out the thief and returning my snake venom. So Garrett was the culprit, eh? I'm not surprised now that I think about it. I must keep closer tabs on my venom from now on. Yes, you do. And we get absolutely nothing for it, which, considering who he is, that's completely normal. Bye. Good day to thee. Not even like 1 gold coin, not nothing. Well, as the Avatar, we don't expect rewards. A good deed is a reward enough. Let's go back to the ship. Let's go over to Vesper. Probably no reason to just skip ahead. It's like, it's right there. So let's just sail. Should we check on Squawks? It's been a little bit. Just pretend we left food for him. The food's invisible. Vesper is a pretty cool town. We're going to talk to everyone there, not just the mayor, in regards as to where Elizabeth and Abraham is. The whole reason for this quest, really, is supposed to get you situated with each and every single town EA goes to. And if you want to do the quest there, you can do the quest there. We did one in Britain with Patterson. That one was a lot of fun, I hope. And he is a returning character in Labyrinth of Worlds, Ultima World 2. He's got quite a big part in that game, if you play that game, or even watch my stream VOD of it. The game plank is blocked. I'm too close. You know what happens. The way the music comes in and cuts out like that always amuses me, but here we are. Vesper is where we got our ship. You know, that's one thing the developers, they give you a free ship with the add-on to the Black Gate, but they make you work for a little bit. Get the ship from British, then you gotta walk through the swamps, another swamp, through a desert, just to get to here, or even just take the Moon Gate and bypass this area. If you know about that, though. This is your first playthrough, you're probably just gonna walk there. And also the Moon Gates, you take damage when you take Moon Gates sometimes. Here we are, I believe this is the mayor's house. Yep, Town Hall, that's what it says. I still can't read it. Who is this lady here? Let's talk to her. I have a bad feeling. It says that every time I save. That's normal. I don't remember if that was like that in the DOS original game, the non-Exalt version, the real version. You see a short woman with a distracted look on her face. She does look distracted. Name. Breaking from her work, the woman turns to look at you long enough to respond. My name is Leanna. Job? I'm the mayor's clerk. I am responsible for keeping track of official records and documents in Vesper. Tell me about this town. I like the town, but 'tis so far from Britain that it attracts some truly unusual people. What kind of people? Well, there are Cador, Ivella, and Zaxxum. Those are the normal ones. Who's Zaxxum? He's the trainer. Quite a good fighter from what I hear. Well, we don't really need a trainer right now. Actually, we do. Some characters that we have some training points. We gotta spend some, eventually. But, as you know, there's gonna be a lot of talking from here on out, so no need to be fighting a lot. So there is a cave nearby. I don't think we'll visit that in this part, though. Ivella is Cador's wife. Cador is the head of the Britannia Mining Company branch here in Vesper. Well, thanks for letting us know that. Unusual. Well, there are a couple of strange ones, Mara and Yongi. And there is Blorn. He's a mean one. And, well, of course, there is Eldroth. And, she says with a shudder, the gargoyles. There's gargoyles living here, eh? In the desert, of all places? Now, there is a disgusting creature for thee. I think they were better named back when we called them daemons. In fact, she hands you a piece of paper. Oh, I wonder what that piece of paper says. She obviously does not care much about gargoyles. And, no, call them daemons was not very accurate. They're gargoyles, not daemons. We have a demon in our sword. Demon, whatever. Eldroth. He is nice, I suppose, but he is also a doddering old fool. That's not very high praise. That's a little mean. This lady's mean. I don't like her. I do not think he hath had a brain for more than a decade. Okay. Blorn. There's a troublemaker and thief if I ever seen one. He needs to think about leaving town. Quickly, if he knows what is best for him. There is one thing I like about him, though. He hates the gargoyles more than anyone. And who was that again? I forgot the name. Yongi. Yongi is nothing more than a drunk. The only reason he opened a tavern was to have an excuse to purchase large amounts of alcohol at wholesale prices. And do not ask him about the gargoyles unless thou dost want him to talk thine ear off. He hates them almost as much as Blorn does. Mara. Mara? She needs to learn how to act like a woman. Her manly attitude doth not fool anyone. I think maybe you're just jealous. But we don't know Mara yet, Mayor. I respect Austin in an unofficial capacity, excuse me. But, she adds, raising her eyebrows, as a mayor, he is far too spineless. He is afraid of taking sides on any issue. I do not think he should have volunteered for the election. And last but not least, gargoyles. Rory chose that. Bye. She nods at you and as she returns to her business. Whatever she's doing, she's just walking around. Alright. That's a big bushy beard this dude has. You see a middle-aged man with a furrowed brow, as if he is constantly worried. He does have a furrowed brow. What's your name? We already know his name from her, but please call me Austin, he says. We're looking for Elizabeth and Abraham. Did they arrive? They are fellowship members. They were just here to see about starting a branch in Vesper. I imagine we will allow it. I believe the couple have gone to Moonglow. That's the city of mages, the city of honesty. They said they were on their way there to conduct a training session for the branch leader there. But I do know that they were going to stop at the Britannia Mining Company branch on the way out of town. I do not know why. Job. He sighs before responding. I'm the mayor of Vesper. Vesper? It was a pleasant place in days past, but now, my lord, the turmoil between our people and those gargoyles has caused many problems. What sort of problems? I'm worried that the gargoyles may get restless and attack us. Blorn has not helped things. He points to his chest. I'm the one charged with maintaining order here. If there is not any, it will be my responsibility. I have asked Eldroth what to do in case of an uprising, and I'm trying to plan accordingly. Who's Eldroth? Eldroth acts as our counselor. He has been giving advice to the people of our town for, well, longer than I can remember. He owns the provision shop. Blorn. I'm not sure what to think about him. I do not know what he does for a living, but I know the gargoyles hate him more than they do the rest of us. I'm frightened of what will happen, since it is obvious that he holds mutual feelings towards them. Tell me about your people here. I try to stay in touch with as many of the citizens as I can. I do not know all of them that well. I know Cador has been in charge of the local branch of the Britannia Mining Company ever since it opened. He is married to Evella. I believe they are members of that fellowship organization. Of course, there's Eldroth and a trainer, and also Yangi. And, he scowls as he adds the last one, Blorn. Also, thou should speak with Leanna. My tone of voice is a little off on that section. She knows a few of the people that I do not. I'm afraid that I do not know everyone as well as I should. Trainer is Zaxxam. Zaxxam's our trainer. He can teach thee how to better defend thyself. Should the gargoyles cause trouble, I am comforted that he would defend our side. Leanna. She is my clerk. She is very efficient, excuse me. I couldn't govern Vesper without her. Yangi. He serves drinks at the tavern. Many have claimed him to be the best bartender on this side of the desert. People come from all around Britannia to speak with him, he says proudly. Gargoyles. I don't trust them any more than thou dost, Reuben. We didn't introduce ourselves, but whatever. But officially, they are citizens too. I'm afraid they may try to forcefully gain control of the town someday. Well, I hope so. Bye. Goodbye, my lord. Well, not really. Well, we got that... We got our inventory littered with that scroll. It's right here, right? Yep. Get this crap out of my inventory, God. Let's go downstairs. Downstairs? Let's go down here. How about that? Oh, boy. I remember this quest line. Not quest line. There is one quest. It's also 10 in the morning, and the tavern keeper is asleep. Well, oh, I can't go in there. There's no one in here, really. It's empty. Yep, same thing. Well, we'll come back here later. Let's go up north. So E and A went to visit the Britannia Mining Company here, so we'll have to go to that branch. They went to Moonglow. That's going to be the next part, I guess. We still got a lot of town. Let me exit out of that. We did pause right here. Talk to people in Britain. Now we're in Vesper. We got Cove. This is kind of part of a main quest here. Minnock. Moonglow's here. Got that. New Magencia. This is Buccaneer's Den. This is Turfin, the City of Gargoyles. Jellum we did. Serpent's Hold we did. And Shrunzik we did. So we got 1, 2, 3 currently, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 more places to go to. Let's talk to this guy. A strong, powerful man looks at you and nods in acknowledgement. Name. I'm Zaxxam, he states proudly. Job. I teach others to be strong fighters. I am a trainer here in Vesper. Vesper. I've taught here for many years. I like the town, but I'm not too fond of some of the residents. Residents. Most of us are respectable, but there are a few that I wonder about. Blorn the mayor, for example. What about Blorn? That one I do not like a bit. I do not trust him. He reminds me of those gargoyles. Gargoyles. What is there to say? But do not let them get too close, or they will rob thee. Any day now they may try to use violence to take over the town. The mayor himself has asked that I fight, if necessary. Though I have no fear of death, that is a battle I do not look forward to. Violence. Excuse me. As thou must surely know, all gargoyles are prone to senseless fits of violence. It would be quite natural to expect them to use it for their own selfish gain. Rob. I've already heard that some of my fellow residents have had things stolen by those wretched creatures. Alright, Mayor. 'Tis not that I do not trust him, I just wonder about his ability to run the town, excuse me. His name is Austin. Talk to him, and see for thyself what thou thinkest. Better yet, talk to his clerk, Leanna. We already did. And, lo and behold, she does not like gargoyles either, town. The land to the northeast is a bit dry, but the oasis and nearby shores give us plenty of water for drinking and bathing. Lucky. Train? No, it's not alright. We don't need a train right now. Who, may thy strength be thy guide, who needs to be trained? Not Reuben. He's maxed out. YOLO does not need to be trained. Spark, Shamino, Supre. Oh, we don't have training points. Never mind. I assumed we had training points for other characters, because Ruben had some. Now, what is in here? Do you got anything cool in here? Got some books. That's the Weapons and Armor Guide. Long book, too. To the Death by Zaxxum. This book is an in-depth manual of the fighting styles prevalent in Britannia. The author distinguishes between contemporary and historical styles and comments on the value of each. Ah, he's got some magical boots, too. I'm going to take it. That's stealing. Lady Lay's field dressing manual. Let's go ahead and leave. We talked to Zaxxum. I guess the tavern opens in the evening, so he sleeps all day. Oh, just like me. But I am up during the day, so let's go up here. Anything in here? That's just a guy in there. Why is everyone asleep? It's like 10, almost 11. So people do have new schedules per town, I guess. Anybody in here? Ah, this must be the provision shop. Did not mean to click on you, Shamino. Meant to close the door. A very neat, well-groomed, kindly man stands before you. Name. He smiles at you. Ah, excellent. Thou art not afraid to ask question. Thou art not afraid to ask question. Remember, there are no stupid questions, only dumb ones. My name is Eldroth, my lord. Job. I, my friend, am the provisioner. And if I may be immodest, also a counselor for Vesper. Perhaps I can someday give thee advice, my lord. For remember, that which does not kill us makes us wounded. That's not the saying, but okay. Vesper. Yes, my lord, this town is full of wonderful people to whom I have given advice. Might regret this. Early to bed, early to rise, makes Jack a dull boy. I don't think this guy knows what he's doing. Let's ask about people. About whom doth thou wish to know? Austin, the gargoyles, Liana, Kador, perhaps Yangi? We already know Austin, but what's your opinion on him? The mayor? I would have thought thou wouldst have met him by now, my lord. We did. We're just asking for your opinion on him. He's performing an excellent job. Thou mayest not realize this, he blushes, but 'tis I who suggested he run for the office. That's cool. Liana is a very fine young woman who clerks at the town hall. Okay, Yangi? He's the bartender at the Gilded Lizard. Glitted Gizzard. He stops, shakes his head. Even I got messed up, and then corrects himself. I mean the Loaded Lizard, he frowns. No, that's the Gilded Lizard. Yes, that's it. I got it right even when I misread that name. I should have his job. Kador oversees the mines. He and his wife Evella have a lovely daughter named Catherine. Gargoyles. I fear they will stage an uprising. I know Austin holds the same thoughts, for recently, very recently, he approached me and asked for my guidance to prepare for just such an incident. I will warn thee just as I warned him. Always remember, my lord, the best defense is a good defense. It's offense. No one. Aye. Thou wishes to make a purchase. Excellent. But remember, a gold piece saved is a gold piece not spent. What can I sell to thee? He's got nothing we need, so I won't buy anything. Farewell, my lord. Never forget, the grass is always greener when it rains. That's kind of true, but that's not how the saying goes. We'll never have to talk to him ever again. And I think we're going to go up here. I think this is the way out of town. Ah, there's some people here. A lady, and I'm assuming her son or daughter. The matronly woman you see has a look of concern on her face. Good day, my lord. I am Evella. She curtsies. Might I know thy name? My name is Reuben. Pleased to meet thee, Reuben. Well, she introduced herself, so we'll just ask her job. I take care of my daughter, Catherine, while Kador is at work. Should I put music into the video? Like, thematically, in this game, like, atmosphere-wise, nothing plays right now. Sometimes I'm wondering if I should just add music from Ultima, of course, this game. While we're talking to people here. Probably not. Let's talk to, let's ask about, Kador. And that is her daughter, Catherine. Kador is mine husband. He is the overseer of the Britannia Mining Company here in Vesper. Vesper. Well, it would be a lovely town if it were not for those gargoyles. They are disgusting beings. I think Austin should have them run out of town. I do not advise that. Austin. Excuse me. He's our mayor. Eldroth recommended that we elect him, so of course we did. However, between the two of us, I think we ought to have someone new if Alston does not do something quickly. As a matter of fact, thou shouldst run for mayor, my lord. What dost thou think? Wouldst thou like to run for mayor? No, because we are rather busy adventuring. That is too bad. I believe thou wouldst be perfect for the office. I disagree. Politics is not my thing at all. Eldroth. Though people want to not have me so apolitical, and people who are apolitical, not wanting to be apolitical, is my sloppy way of explaining. Excuse me, it's really early. It's 7 in the morning in my part. He's our town advisor. Very wise man, that Eldroth. He also sells provisions. Not very wise. I don't agree with that. I worry about her. Every day at noon, she seems to disappear for a few hours. She has these foolish notions that gargoyles are friendly and honorable. I'm afraid she may be visiting the other side of the oasis. Oh, I do hope not. Gargoyles. Perfectly wretched beasts. Thank goodness most of them stay on their side of the oasis. I do not know how Cador stands working with them. Well, for him, that is. There is only one who still works there. Here, she says, fumbling through her robes. Finally, she hands a piece of parchment and hands it to you. Another one? Jesus Christ. They had to put this in the game, didn't they, the writers? It's not something I noticed when I was growing up, obviously, but considering the last 10, 15 years, a lot of old entertainment, I'm starting to just notice things, and it's hard to not unnotice it. That is all I will say for now, Fellowship. Thou hast not heard of the Fellowship? It is a wonderful organization. We did hear of it, we just want to know your opinion on it. They hold parades and festivals and have even built shelters for homeless folk throughout Britannia. Mine husband learned of them some time ago. We have been happy members ever since, and her husband's Cador, if I remember correctly. Bye. Alright, and yeah, they always put any item you get, new ones go right here, in the upper left corner. Just to make sure that is it, I will toss this away. My goodness, let's talk to her daughter. You see before you a young girl with a carefree expression, so there are more kids than just Spark and Coop. Coop in Britain, YOLO's apprentice. I don't know why I didn't remember that. You see before you a young girl with a carefree expression. As she notices you, her eyes grow wide as she exclaims, "Thou art the person for one of my storybooks. Thou art the Avatar." That's right. She knows more than adults do. Name. My name is Catherine, my Lord Avatar. Job. I have no job, my Lord Avatar. I live with my father and mother here in Vesper. Vesper. That is the name of our city, my Lord Avatar. If thou art lost, thou mayest wish to speak with the town clerk. Father. He is the overseer at the mines, my Lord Avatar. You don't need to call us that. Just call me Reuben. Yes, my Lord Avatar. She is there right now. She points, apparently indicating her house. That's it right there. Job. We already chose that, didn't we? Yep, we did. Goodbye, my Lord Avatar. Alright, anything in here? Just a house. Just a house. I was also going to say something else while I was talking to her, but I completely forgot. Let's just go in here. This is probably a gargoyle's house. Yeah, the dreaded R word. There are racists in this town. Oh, noes. Oh, noes. Let's just go in here then. This is probably my least favorite quest, honestly, even back then. I don't think I ever came to Vesper just to meet EA. When I was a kid, I sort of just explored. I didn't really talk to a whole lot of NPCs. My favorite ones were my side quests. Pause is a fun one. Britain's a fun one with Patterson. That's about it. There's one more in you. There's a good one in you. I like the one in you. This one I don't particularly care for, especially nowadays. RG didn't write the story, but he really shows his political side way too much on X. I can't even stand the guy nowadays. Let's go down here. Made some of my favorite games. A lot of creators did. Should I even been saying this? I guess I don't really care anymore. I'm just going to say whatever I want. I'm tired of having a filter. Okay, here we go.
Go inside. Tell them you are the Avatar.
That sounded a little sinister. Maybe we shouldn't do what he says, Guardian. Hey, I got some gargoyles here, and a winged gargoyle here. How you guys doing? Speaking of which, like, gargoyles are on the top of... Like, they're working for Lord British, but they're still not being accepted here. But like I said in many parts ago, and pause. It's easy to write this kind of story when you're the writer. Let's talk to this guy. Or the gargoyle. He's got a cool portrait. The winged gargoyle has a very calm air about him. As he first sees you, a smile of recognition appears on his face. To present greetings, Avatar. It's like, I get the whole point, like back then. Racism is bad. I don't need a story to let me know racism is bad. No, it's bad. I'm not stupid. But they don't want you to not think about it. They want to constantly remind you of it, especially the last 15 years, but that is it, hopefully. Name. To be called Ansakart. What does that mean? To mean anti-dry master. Interesting. I like how the names have meanings, though. Every name has a meaning. Like Reuben means, behold, a son. It's, from Genesis. It's one of the biblical names. Others. I don't know what YOLO means. You only live once. No, because there's an I in it. To know all the gargoyles in Vesper. To want to know about specific ones. Yeah. To want information, perhaps, about the Provisioner or the Sage. Provisioner. To be Orvidlim. Orvidlim. To have become sullen lately, but to know not why. Who's the Sage? To be named Jesper. To have once been a great mind. To be now paranoid and reclusive. To feel pity for Jesper. I guess the ether has affected him too. That sucks. Vesper. To be a town full of hate. To have the humans hate us and to know many hate them. Especially Anminivis and Foronamo. To be not a good thing. He appears saddened. Who is Anminivis? To have worked the mines with Laplem. But to have left just recently, he shakes his head. To hate them humans who worked there. And who live on the other side of the oasis. To be too violent. To be no longer permitted on the other side. This whole... I don't like this questline. I might stop after talking to this guy. Because I'm going to be going off on a tangent. I get really heated with some stuff like this. Which is a bit unusual for this channel. Laplem. Hard for me to air out my thoughts when I'm talking to NPC. To mine for the mining company here. To be the only gargoyle still mining here. He nods his head. To be very tolerant, like Forlem. Who's that? To be a laborer for the town. Tolerant. To work now with only humans, who hate and degrade him. To continue working, however, despite this. To be quite tolerant of human intolerance. He nods as if to emphasize his point. Foronamo. To be brother to Anminivis and to have been raised by the same parent. To hate the humans as much as Anminivis, and he sighs. To be allowed no longer to visit the human side. Bye. To make what purchase? He's got mutton rations, cake, ham, wine and ale. We don't need anything right now. To be alright. To hope you will bring peace again to our people, Avatar. If everyone on planet Earth, let's say Britannia as well, took Morgan Freeman's advice to stop talking about the dreaded R word, like, the whole point of this is, like, to, you know, teach kids, like, and adults that racism is bad. We're not stupid. We know it's bad. How about just not talk about it? I have something else to say, but I completely forgot. Maybe I'll remember after talking to these fine gentlemen here. The gargoyle is obviously displeased with the intrusion of your presence. He doesn't look displeased. Name. I have no desire to tell you, to demand to know who you are. Excuse me. We can say the Avatar. Though, I'm not going to choose this. If we choose this, I'll explain what happens after you choose it, Reuben. To tell you to go away. And the conversation ends. We'll talk to this guy. Or gargoyle, rather. The gargoyle stares at you, displeased at the interruption. Name. He says the same thing as this guy, Reuben. To tell you to go away. Job. To have none, he glares fiercely at you. Fiercely. Bye. He grunts his dismissal. He says the same thing. If you say that you're the Avatar, they're going to attack you. They blame you for the underworld and all that in the previous game. There we go. Let's go ahead and leave. Yeah, only humans can be racist, just like only whites can be racist. I'm just... Okay, let's go down here. Let's go in here and talk to this guy here. I just simply do not care for having a filter right now. I've been having that for ever since I started videos. Because I'm really careful as to not to offend anyone. I'm careful not to start arguments on the internet. I wrote my script for the reviews. I'm going to pause here for a little bit. I wrote my script for the reviews. Carefully wording it in a way where, you know, trying to get all my lines crossed, my I's dotted, just to be really clear about my opinions and everything, but I still get ignorant comments on my previous videos sometimes that you just can't avoid it no matter how... If you're a Mr. Rogers, you'll still get hate comments. That's how the internet is. Silly me. I should know better. The winged gargoyle... I like his goggles. This must be Wizard. This is the mage's shop. The winged gargoyle in front of you has a wild look about him. Name. To wonder why you want to know. And the conversation just ends. To go away, human. To have nothing you want, she screams Wizard. Job. To sell the few items I possess. What do you sell? To want to buy something? He looks at you carefully as if he is unsure whether to sell to you. To be possible, he says, nodding. To ask what you need. What kind of spells do you have? To be interested in which circle? Well, what do you have for the first one? Great Ignite, Douse, Great, Locate Light, no. Oh, you gotta through all this again? Darn it. Second, Fire Blast, Enchant we have, Destroy Trap. Probably get this one. To cost 50 gold for a Destroy Trap spell. To be agreeable? Yeah. To agree. Yes. He doesn't have third, 7 or 8. We're level 6, so we can cast up to level 6 spells now. Reveal is, I think that shows whether something is trapped or not, so I'll buy that. Why not? We got money. Mass Sleep, Explosion, Dispel Field, Fire Field. Excuse me. Coughing a little bit in real life, sorry. 6. Fire Ring, Clone, Flame Strike, and Tremor. Okay, what else do you got? Reagents. Blood Moss. To want 16 gold. To have another offer? Yeah, I'll give you 0. To notice you are obviously not interested. To want something else? Yeah. No. To be good. To want to sell nothing to you. He's mean. Potions. To want what item? Orange? I want any of these things. Goodbye. To be good that you leave. So we'll have to visit him if the ether ever gets better. Guess we go down here. We're almost done, by the way. I think we might be able to visit that cave. It's a pretty cool cave. You see a very large, strong, wingless gargoyle. Did I mention already that wingless gargoyles in the previous game, Ultima VI, they didn't talk. They were like worker bees in that game, in that society. To answer to for lamb. What's that mean? To mean strong one. Oh, makes sense. Job. To do odd jobs for others. Also to record gargoyle legends in written form. Legends. To have many interesting stories about our race. To be writing them down for future generations. To be afraid for the future of gargoyle use. To tell you they know little about their heritage. Excuse me. To feel important to educate them and the offspring who follow them in our ways and history. Stories. To have had many exciting myths from before the Avatar's encounters with our race. To share the concept of a hero with the humans, but to have had different heroes from our own history. Others. To be friends with Laplem, and know he is a good miner. Also to know Ansicart, who reminds us of singularity in these troubled times. That's one of the gargoyle virtues. Troubled times. To be angry with the humans. To be treated poorly and with contempt. To know not why, he shrugs. To tell you goodbye, human. Did we chose job already? Yep, I did. Sometimes I forget, excuse me. My memory is just not very good nowadays. Close that. Now we'll go in here. Anybody in here? No. Rather Spartan looking home. That's because back then couldn't fit that much on a on many floppy disks. This came out on 8 was it 5 1/4 inch floppies? 5 1/2? 5 1/4? Yeah, 5 1/4. They had high density floppy disk, 3 1/4 inch or 3 1/2 inch, excuse me. And then finally CDs became a thing, which is when I really started to game. I've only played a few games on floppy disks. But my dad installed that for me. I had no idea how DOS works. even nowadays. Who's this guy? The gargoyle standing before you has a sour expression on his face. He must have been on a very sour lemon. Name. To be called Orvidlim. To recognize you to be the avatar. Job. To provide provisions for others in Vesper. Alright, Vesper. To be a town filled with prejudice and hatred. To know the humans expect us to begin a violent confrontation. To believe the humans deserve it, he shrugs, but to hope my brethren display more control than that. Others. To have only a few gargoyles living in town. To know mainly Whizzer and Ansicart, and to know of some wingless ones. What do you have for sale? Almost the same thing as, Eldroth, I believe. Throat's not feeling too good right now, it's so weird. To bid you goodbye. Alright. Where is the Britannian mining place thingamajig? This is the gargoyle side of town, obviously, so we need to go see... Probably need to go back to the, human side of town. This house is empty. Here's the oasis, where they get all their water. That's cool. And I'm having, like, a little bit of a flashback to Gothic 3. The deserts of Varant, for some reason. That oasis kind of triggered it for me in a good way. That isn't too bad of a game, by the way, with the patches. The patches isn't too bad. Let's go to Tavern. The Tavern, rather. And there's still nobody here. This guy's sleeping away the day like I do. Where's the darn building? I don't know where it is. Well, if I find it, I'll just skip ahead. Alright, I didn't find it. It's currently noon, and if you remember what, yeah, who the woman's name is. Her daughter Catherine disappears for a few hours after it turns noon, so I believe she's somewhere around here. There we go. There she is. Girl. A look of concern quickly appears on his face. To talk about the human girl Catherine? To mean no harm to her, he holds out his hands. To read gargoyle mythology to her during the day only. To have been asked by her, his eyes widen. To ask you not to tell her parents, for they will punish her. He looks hopeful. To tell not, agreed? Sure. To making the right decision, he appears relieved. To thank you, human, he smiles. Bye. Gargoyle, Catherine. Sorry, my lord Avatar, my mother told me never to speak with strangers. She quickly turns away. Okay. Well, we'll just leave him be. If you, tell the mother, I think, it's Forlum, right? He shows up dead. I think Kador kills him. And I don't want that to happen. In fact, I'm gonna go north here. We gotta find the mines, I believe. I think that's where everyone is. There's some mountains up north. Sometimes I think, man, should I cut something out? I've done that sometimes, because I say some stupid stuff on here. And it's going to be on the internet for all eternity, but... I can do that. Not all the time. It's like I said, like I stumble over my words, like I did in the Deus Ex video, because it's been a while since I did an LP. I stumbled over my words, I remember, in front of the bathrooms in UNATCO. Like, really badly. I had to redo that line. When can we rest? Never. This is the Vesper mine. Alright, I was right. How about you, Snake? Finally, some combat. And here we are. Find some people to talk to. There's a rat here. This place has a rat problem. Well, it is a mine. Find all sorts of critters here. I don't think they're... Nope, this is a dead end. Excuse me. Let's go down here. Yep, this is the Vesper mine. Let's talk to this guy. Thank goodness for the T button. We see a broad-shouldered man with a solemn look about him. Name. The man shakes your hand. I'm Kador. Alright, what can you tell us about Elizabeth and Abraham? They were the two Fellowship officials that were here. They only stayed for a minute or two. I have no idea where they are now. Why would they come to a mine? That's a little suspicious. Fellowship. It is a wonderful organization. They perform many works of charity and special events, parades and such. He points to his medallion. As I can see, I am a member. I fully believe in the triad of inner strength. As a matter of fact, two Fellowship officials were just here. They said it was important to see how a town's economy worked before starting a branch in that town. Dost thou realize what that means? He smiles proudly. They're going to build a fellowship branch here in Vesper. That's the worst news I heard in a long time. Triad. Yep. Not gonna read that. I oversee the local branch of the Britannian Mining Company in Vesper. That combat music's still playing while we talk to this guy. It's funny. Just like back at the House of Items, we mine many different minerals. Gold and lead. I work with Mara and a gargoyle named Laplim. Well, for a gargoyle, he is not too lazy. He works much harder than that other one who left, and Minivis. I would fain let him go if we did not need the extra hand. What can you tell me about Mara? She is a fantastic worker. Better than most men I have mined with. Reminds me of Sylgia from Skyrim, who is the best girl, by the way. That is the name of our town. Leanna at Town Hall can give thee any more information that thou mightst need. But I have lived here with my family since the branch opened. Leanna, that's her name. That isn't her name, that's the Town Hall lady. She keeps the records at Town Hall. Family. Ivella and his daughter Catherine. Bye. It has been a pleasure, my lord. Let's go find Laplim and, Mara. I guess that's Mara. Wearing chainmail. Phew, she says. Excuse me. You see a well-muscled woman who lifts her head in acknowledgement of your presence. Okay. Name. The woman grabs your hand and shakes vigorously. Hello, my name's Mara. Job? She flexes proudly. I'm a miner in Vesper. Vesper. This used to be a pleasant town. She looks around, apparently checking if anyone is near. So the gargoyles became so unruly. Now most of us have had to spend far too much time wondering when the gargoyles will decide they want to kill us. Us. Well, I know Kador feels as I do, as does his wife. I've heard the mayor express his concern about them. I don't really know his clerk Leanna. I've only seen her a few times, Leanna. I do not know her well enough to say this, but I think she is angry about something. Or she is always in a bad mood. She is. Mayor. His name is Austin. I like him, but I suspect that Leanna is the one who truly keeps Vesper in order. Wife. Ivella is a lovely woman. She spends her days caring for their daughter Catherine. Kador. He's in charge of managing the mines. Does a fair job, too. He usually joins me at the Gilded Lizard. Gilded Lizard. That is a tavern here in Vesper. Yongi's the barkeeper. The barkeeper. He serves a passing fair tankard of ale. Gargoyles. She shrugs. There is naught to say, except that they are a menace. This town would be a much better place without them. Aye. Mara shakes your hand and slaps you on the back, saying, Fare thee well, friend. She's wearing chainmail. That's not good wear to wear when you're, mining. Some more, rats. Almost said rabbits for some reason. At you. Rest in peace. Got some stuff in here. Aye. Magical bolts. I guess we can take that? Doesn't belong to the miners, does it? Oh, no one called me out for it. Alright, goodbye. Get out of that. Alrighty then. There we go. That's Laplim, obviously. You are greeted with a smile from this gargoyle. Name. To be known to you as Laplim. To mean Rock One. To be a miner, to be now the only miner of my race in this town. Only miner. To tell you that there was another, and Minivis, to have left because of racial hatred. To sit now in tavern all day with brother, Boronamo. To feel bad for Minivis and a brother. But to need job, he shrugs. To put up with hatred. Town. To be called Vesper. To be the only place other than parts of Britain where gargoyles live with humans. To tell you that there are more conflicts, he sighs. To wonder if Turfin would be a better choice to maintain a home. Turfin. To be the gargoyle home city. We need to go there eventually. To have been constructed 200 years ago when the Codex was placed in the void and the gargoyles were without places to live. Though not prohibited, no humans reside there. Conflicts. To see the humans grow in hostility to us. Sadly, to also see many gargoyles begin to show mutual feelings. To hope the situation never becomes violent. To know of many gargoyles who work in the other mines, but to see the Vesper mine as only humans now. I chose that right. Yep. To hope to see you again soon. Is there anything else in this must check? God, no, you can actually use this, by the way. It's not necessary. Ah. There's some stuff in there. It's magically locked. It probably doesn't belong to the miners, so let's go ahead and unlock it. There we go. We got a piece of black rock, sacks of flour, more black rock, and food. I don't think this belongs to the miners. They don't know any magic, do they? Like, who magically locked the door? I'm just gonna go ahead and take it. Let's go ahead and take all of it. That won't fit. Well, we'll go ahead and give it to Spark, since he's the backup food guy. The backup food kid. This part's almost over. 47 minutes already? It's like as soon as I start, an hour's already passed. Time just goes by very quickly for me. The days just blur into one another. Been really busy on my end, just selling stuff online to downsize my living arrangement. And not to get too personal, there's also some bats here. How about you, Batman? Or just bats? Look at that hammer, the way it goes. It's funny. Don't have a large retro gaming collection like a Metal Jesus Rocks or anything, but I've downsized a fair bit to just my favorites. I don't really play on retro gaming hardware anymore. A Genesis, a PS1, PS2, GameCube, Game Boy Player, also got a PSP, a Game Gear, and a Game Boy Advance, as well as a Sega Master System and a power-based converter for the Sega Genesis, which basically lets you play Master System games on the Sega Genesis. Ah, I've got some more treasure here. Does not count as stealing, I don't think. Let's open... It's the wrong button. Nuggets. Or a nugget, I'll take it. Because normally I just play on emulators. It's more convenient and just plays better to me, honestly. People talk about the authenticity of real hardware, which I agree with. It's more authentic, but emulation to me is part of my childhood too. My first emulator was a ZSNES in high school. This was early 2000s. I played Gens and, well, ZSNES, like I said. There's nothing here, what the heck? Who locked these doors magically? That's BlackRock right there. Is that what they came to see, E&A? Maybe that'll become clearer later on. But yeah, with the ZSNES emulator, I was able to play games that I've always wanted to play because I was a Sega kid. Terra Enigma, which was not in the States, that was a PAL regioned game, and I believe Japan. Clock Tower, which never came out here in the States, that was Japanese only, I believe. More bats, as well as Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, and Breath of Fire 2, which is what I always wanted to play. I've always wanted to play Super Nintendo. It has some great games for the system. But with the magic of emulators and retro gaming hardware is very expensive. Games, rather. Alright, we already went down there, I think. Let's go back to Vesper. Probably just gonna walk there. I don't feel like skipping ahead. The whole, am I not worthy? What's she talking about? Let's talk to him again. He doesn't say anything new. No new dialogue. I think we talked to almost everyone except for Yongi. Rat. It's just a rat. The music is so epic. It's like we're fighting a very dangerous fight, but it's just like 3 rats. No time to rest, Spark. Hey, this is life. This is adventuring. Marching from one town to the other. You just gotta put up with it. Alright, down here. What was I saying? Retro gaming. Yeah, I don't play on real hardware anymore. I thought about selling it all, honestly. Just kind of don't feel much when I look at it on the shelf, but I keep it. Because I don't know what I'm gonna feel like 20 years from now. I might feel good 1 year, 2 years, even 5 years. But what's gonna happen if I'm 60 years old and they're not around? And I have a sudden thought. You just never know, you know? So I just keep my favorites, and they're like decoration pieces, really. Let's go back down to the tavern and just wake up Yongi. He's the last guy we gotta talk to. Sometimes I think I should edit that thing out earlier, but I'm trying to be a little bit more braver and saying my mind on here. I'm a bit of a coward in real life. Here we are. He is cooking. He wakes up at noon to start the day. Makes sense. This tavern is not open in the morning. Ah, my good friend Dupre, what can I do for ye this fine day? Ah, he's Scottish. Master Yongi, always ready to offer a tankard of thy finest. Tending the bar is a jovial-looking man. Welcome to the Good Lizard. His name's Yongi, but I'll ask you again. Yongi, my lord, and ye are? I'm Reuben. Welcome to me tavern, Reuben. Job? Why, tend me bar, and lend me ear to the customers, he adds, touching his right ear for emphasis. Customers. Well, all I really know in Vesper are me regulars, Cador, Mar, and Balorn. You might be wanting to talk to Austin, the mayor, or his clerk, Leanna. Ah, now there's a fine young lass. He winks at you. Really? Leanna? What can you tell me about Mara? She works with Cador at the mines. Hard as stone, that one. She'd be more man than most of the men in town. Blorn. There be one who knows what's what. He knows what be wrong with this town. Gargoyles. That is what be wrong. He hates them, he does. He was even accosted by one of those jackals not too long ago. Ask him about it, why don't ye? Did we meet Blorn? I don't think we did. Cador. He be in here every night after work. Good man. Hard worker. And do note there's no inn in this town. Vesper. Why, I wouldn't want to live anyplace else. Of course, this town would be a better place if we could rid ourselves of those jackals. Those jackals, the gargoyles. 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 What about them? They be the vilest, evilest, cruelest, most despicable things ever to crawl upon this great land. I cannot tell you too well to stay away from them. I can only imagine what a fine town this be if there weren't no more gargoyles. Of course, I know those dogs are probably saying the same about us. Everybody knows they're going to come and kill all us in our sleep one evening. There's no quest in regards to that, by the way, to resolve that, I don't believe. Like, you won't come back one day and find the gargoyles killed the humans, or the humans killed the gargoyles. Be you wanting food or drink? Food. What would you like? He's got mutton rations, bread, and flounder. If you say so, I know that blasted Britannian tax council or what have ye has made the cost of things too high. Maybe next time. Drink. What would you like? Mead, wine, ale. Says the same thing there, and goodbye. May the road rise up to meet ye. I don't think I ever mentioned, again, not too personal, but I'm not Scottish, but I'm part Irish, so I don't think we ever met someone who's Irish in here. I don't think Dupre is Irish. Isn't Dupre a French name or something? The names here, I feel like my name doesn't really match with our characters. Sometimes I'm like, when I play a role-playing game, I try to make a character's name match with the whole lore of the game. Just because that adds to the enjoyment. I think a good story to go along with great gameplay really enhances the gameplay when you have good context as to why you're doing something. To get your emotions up, you know? I don't think we talked to Blorn. Where is Blorn? I have no idea. In here, this is the Britannian not tax. It's the mining company building, I think. If we talked to Blorn, I completely forgot, by the way. I have no idea where he is. I'm going to try to look for him. If I find him, I'll just skip ahead. Okay, I can't find him. We're just going to have to find him in the next part. I'm going to go up north, though. Excuse my voice. For some reason today, my voice doesn't seem to be doing too well. I'm getting really tired. I got really tired at 30 minutes in. Like, vocal fatigue. I don't really talk for a whole lot in real life. In fact, I don't talk to a whole lot of people in real life, which is not a surprise, probably. I can go days without talking to anyone. I'm just really used to it and prefer it most of the time. That's the Vesper mine. Fight this snake. We'll go back to Vesper later. Our ship is there, of course. I probably should have marked my location next to the ship, but hopefully when we go back down, it'll be evening time. We can find Blorn. I think we talked to every NPC there. It took a little bit less than Britain. Let's go up here. There is a cave nearby, I'm sure. I am pretty sure. I don't know if it's hidden. I don't know if it's up here. I might be going the wrong way, in fact. I'm not sure. It's one cave I visited when I did the review of this game a year ago. I might play a little bit longer. I think another 10 minutes. get some combat done and take out these scorpions. These giant scorpions. Oh, good job, Dupre. The fire sword is the best one-handed sword, by the way. It's a really, really good weapon. I think it does 8 damage. It's not like a really, really great sword, but I used to equip him with the Mage Bane, I think, and he wasn't too good with that. So that's more good for mages. Ambush. Oh, he's got Shamina pretty well. Alright, let me get in position. Right here. Like that. And I'm gonna save. Alright, out of Vesper for now. We will go back in the next part. But in the next part, we will explore this cave. Right here. I explored it a year ago for the review. Or when I was doing gameplay footage for the review a year ago. It's an interesting cave. There's some neat stuff inside it. And you will see. You will see.